Hey everyone, welcome to the Interlude between seasons 10 and 11 of the Coffee People podcast, which is part of the Roast West Coast Coffee Network, and presented by Roastery Coffee Packaging. I'm your host, Ryan Woldt. Coffee can be complicated. Coffee can be simple, it can be meditative, coffee can be uplifting, it can be a medium for commiserating, coffee can... You get the picture. What coffee means to me and what it means to you may be different. In fact, it would be surprising if it wasn't. Over 10 seasons of Coffee People, formerly the Roast West Coast Coffee Podcast, I've learned exactly one thing about coffee. It's that wherever you are in your coffee journey, you are not alone. I truly love recording these episodes and hearing the stories of the guests who spend an hour chatting with me about their path through coffee, entrepreneurship, relationships, learning, who they are as an individual, what motivates them to keep pushing forward on this journey, and so much more. The shows never go quite as I expect, and even after literally hundreds of episodes, I'm still learning how to be a decent interviewer and even just to work with the audio. That's okay. When I launched this podcast, I did so knowing I would be learning on the fly. At the time, all of the late-night talk shows were airing episodes from home offices and attics due to COVID-19. I realized then that even if the show wasn't perfect and polished and precisely orchestrated, that it would be okay. It was the stories being shared that mattered. Coffee People exists because I was grasping for some sort of connection to a hospitality community that I had lost when I left my career running restaurants, hustling part-time as a barista, and spending most mornings drinking way too many cups of coffee. I missed those moments when the conversations seemed to flow so much easier because we had a cup of coffee to chat over. Did I think this show would last 10 seasons? No. Do I think that it will go for 10 more? Yes. And that's because people are listening and connecting and sharing the show and telling their friends, and I love doing it. And it seems like people enjoy being guests on the show. So thank you. Thank you for appearing if you've been a guest. But for those of you listening, thank you for listening. Thank you for reading and supporting, telling us your stories and sharing things online, and sharing a cup of coffee with each other. I'd also like to point out that I've learned more than one thing. I've learned a ton of things, like how to plug in a microphone and use Zoom. But I was making a point. You get it. That's our Coffee People conversation interlude for today. The show will be back soon with all new episodes. Make sure to keep following roastwestcoast.com or coffeepeoplepodcast.com. Both links go to the same place. You can find those in the show notes, wherever you're listening. Helping us bring this episode and all of our shows to you is our presenting sponsor, Roastery Coffee Packaging, which you can find online at roastery.com. We're also supported by great coffee industry partners, Zoom Bar Coffee and Tea, Steady State Roasting, Coffee Cycle Roasting, Maria Coffee, Cape Horn Green Coffee Importers, Crossings Coffee, Hasea Coffee Source, Ignite Coffee Company, Ascend Coffee Roasters, Civets Roasting Machines, Me and My Uncle Coffee, Craft 42 Roasters, and Cozy K9 Coffee. That's it for today. We'll see you soon. This show, the Coffee People Podcast, is part of the Roast West Coast Coffee Network. This episode has been written, produced, researched, and recorded by me, Ryan Woldt, and I hope this episode has found you happy, healthy, and with at least a thread of sanity left, enabling you to make it through the day. Always tip your baristas, and be sure to drink good coffee. And now on to the next one.